So on today's video, I'm going to be covering a very low risk but high payout merit method using power kills. And this is most effective for systems that are in fortification. The same method can also be used for undermining, but the merit payout method will be maybe about 10 to 15% less per hour. This is a great method for countering people undermining your carrier and strongholds, especially if they're doing it in private group or solo. As you can see here, after 1 hour fortifying at the beginning of a fresh cycle, I got almost 53,000 merits doing this. This is also not using any kind of exploits or glitches in the game either. Well, this method I'm about to show you is not commonly known outside of veterans of PowerPlay. And what we're going to be doing is using the nav beacon to create instances of power ships and maximizing the chances of having power ships spawn. Now, to create this instance, we're going to intentionally overshoot the nav beacon and approach the nav beacon at a bit of a slower speed in Super Cruise. And once you're at about 500 kilometers past, start to drop out. And it should drop you out somewhere between 600, 700, 800 kilometers away from the nav beacon. When you drop out this far from the nav beacon, you're still in the nav beacon instance, but the game will spawn around you power play ships. So the ship spawning is not competing with wanted ships and non-wanted ships and system security and all that. The particular ships here that spawn are not going to try and fight back. They're going to immediately try to leave as soon as you start to shoot them. And regardless of the size of the power ship that you destroy, you're going to be getting high merit payout. Even a Sidewinder is going to give you 256 merits as a minimum. It's kind of random how many merits you're going to get per kill, but it can vary anywhere between 256 to as high as close to 400. Unlike bounty hunting, where bigger ships usually give you a bigger bounty, which gives you a higher merit payout, the size of the ship is irrelevant and has nothing to do with the amount of merits you're going to get per kill. Now, because these ships are not going to fight back, if you're fairly new to the game or haven't done much engineering, this is a fairly safe way to get power kills to farm merits. You'll just need to make sure that you're using a weapon loadout, which is going to allow you to either kill the ships fast enough before they try to escape, or have some weapons that would allow you to shoot out their sub-targets, and you can aim for shooting out their thrusters or their frame shift drive. I could have easily put pacifiers on this Python and just melted all these ships in seconds with using pacifiers. But I'm doing this with a cannon loadout just to demonstrate that it can be done with other weapons, since if you're still trying to level up your power play, you probably don't have those unlocked yet. Once you've killed all the ships in the instance, you just point your way towards the nav beacon, pop back up on the Super Cruise, and again just overshoot, and we're going to drop out at about the same range again. Now you can jump back and forth across the nav beacon like this in between the instances, and you can create new instances fairly quickly. You can see about the amount of time that it takes you to turn around, you'll start seeing ships spawning in. It is very rare that you'll ever create an instance where you don't see any ships. And it's more than likely that if you're not seeing ships, it's because your sensors are not powerful enough to see the ships spawning at a distance. So if you're not seeing things when you're going into these instances, just extend the range of your sensors. Either A-rate them or engineer them for further range. For those of you that are taking power play seriously and are not just simply interested in getting the levels to unlock your modules, this is a great way to counter people undermining your power carrier in stronghold systems. Since it's very easy to undermine systems using the stronghold carrier, even after the nerf of the small fighters. And if somebody is doing this in private group where you're not able to enter the stronghold and kill them, it forces you to have to counter their efforts through merit farming. And this is a very productive way of getting merits through power kills to counter players doing that to your stronghold carrier. And you can see how quickly it takes to pop in and out of these instances. Doesn't take very long at all. And some instances you might only get 1 or 2 ships, like I have here, but occasionally you get into an instance where you'll have multiple wings, like 3 wings of 3 ships that are all enemy powers, and you can kill them all and get your kills very quickly. Every now and then, you're going to see friendly powered ships spawn in instead of enemy powered ships when you do this. But the very majority of the time, you are going to be getting enemy power ships and not friendly ships. If you do see friendly power ships, I wouldn't wait for any other ships to spawn in, because it's a friendly instance. I would just immediately jump out and to overshoot the nav beacon again and create a new instance. Now, I only started recording me farming the merits using this method near the very end of my kind of hour-long farming session. So from here on in, I will just kind of fast forward through the remainder of the clip, just showing you the varying payloads I was getting from the different ships I was destroying. But there's not really any new information for me to give you beyond this point. It's just going to be repeating the same cycle, jumping back and forth past the beacon, creating new instances, and killing the ships. And if you found this video helpful, please consider hitting the subscribe button and the like button. And I'll just let the rest of this play through at a forwarded speed.